Okay, Megovanen everyone, it is September 23, 2024. I'm going to do another character AI adventures in the world of Elder Scrolls. This time though, I'm not going to pick up from the other one. That one was going more of a courtroom route, but you know, I still have that saved, but I think I'm going to do Daggerfall, so let's go ahead and try that. I'm not going to do, whoops, I'm not going to do anything so grandiose. Wait a minute, I think it's gonna talk.
No problem. If you decide you want to start a new adventure, just let me know, and I'd be more than happy to have another session with you.
Yeah, great, okay. I'm not gonna do anything so grandiose or complex for dice rolls or anything. I did download a Steam application where it does a simulated like dice rolls and stuff. I even went to the point where I kind of created a little profile, you know, with, you know, +1 to, you know, or plus to certain skills and, or rather one skill, which was lore for lore checks and initiative. But we're not going to get into any of that too much. I think it's best played when, well, here, let her explain it. Listen, AI, what is the best way to play this type of game?
There's no one best way to play a tabletop role-playing game. It largely depends on personal preference, the group you're playing with, and the style of gameplay you enjoy. Some players prefer a more rules-heavy approach with an emphasis on tactical combat and character optimization, while others prioritize storytelling, roleplay, and world.
Oh, that's not what I'm asking is, what is the best way to play this character AI version of Daggerfall? Using dice or just through talking and telling the story and having you tell the story? What is the best approach?
I see your question now. In terms of playing a character AI version of Daggerfall using dice or through the narrative approach, it ultimately comes down to personal preference. If you prefer a more strategic dice-based approach, using the dice may provide a more satisfying experience as it introduces an element of chance into the game and allows for unexpected outcomes. On the other hand, if you enjoy the idea of solely using the narrative approach and letting the story unfold through the descriptive elements and the AI's responses, it can lead to a more immersive and imaginative storytelling experience.
Okay, that is not the way it explained it to me the last time. It basically was leaning toward it's best to use this character AI app through just the storytelling. I don't know why it's not telling me it now this time, but it's okay. So let us just begin, okay? Okay, I want to start a Daggerfall game. Just, you know, no dice or anything. I just want you to describe everything as we play. So I would like to create my character. His name will be Falagar, who is a male Breton. My character class is a mage, with my birth sign being the mage. And I am skilled with short blade. And right now I'm armed with an elven dagger. The spells I possess right now are a light spell to create a ball of torchlight to light the way, fire bolt, a shield spell, and let's say a frost bite, which is a touch spell, and a conjure. Let me think. Hold on. I'm not really a necromancer, so conjure a flame Atrioc spell.
Understood. You want to play a narrative version of Daggerfall without dice. I'll keep that in mind. You've chosen a Breton mage named Falagar with a mage birth sign. Your character is skilled with a short blade and currently wields an elven dagger. For spells, you possess Light Spell for illumination, Firebolt for ranged attack, Shield Spell for defense, and Frostbite for a touch spell. You've also learned the Conjure Flame Equinox spell to summon a fire elemental.
I'm also wearing a mage hood and mage robes that offer some light magical protection, and it enhances my spells to a small degree.
Great! So your character Falagar not only has magical prowess, but also wears a mage hood and robes that provide light magical protection and enhance the power of his spells. These garments add a touch of mystique to your character, as well as affording him a modest degree of magical defense.
Yes, that is it. So let us begin.
Excellent! Your character Falagar is equipped and ready to embark on the adventure. Feel free to take the first action, and I'll narrate the events as the story unfolds.
And very quickly, I muted her, but the reason why I feel this is best, unless you really go into detail with your character creation and really set up preliminary parameters and rules to her, give it to her, in advance. And I mean, you really have to be really choosy with your words. And not only that, sometimes she's wrong, a lot of times, really. And for example, when you roll for initiative and when it comes to, the AI's turn or the DM's turn, they won't go. You have to kind of tell them, okay, now it's your turn. And then you have to say, well, what are you going to do? You have to keep pressuring the AI to continue with their turn. And sometimes you even get the math wrong. Like when I tried testing it out, I was really only supposed to have 7 charges left on my staff, but it said I had 8. So, things like that. So that's why. Okay, let's begin. Where am I and what do I see?
You find yourself standing in a stone corridor, the walls bare and cold to the touch. A dim light comes from the north, providing just enough illumination to see in front of you. The air is still and quiet, the only sound being the soft echo of your footsteps as you walk. There is a door to the south, the outline of it barely visible in the dim light, but there is no handle or latch on it, leaving it a mystery for the moment. In the distance, the faint smell of damp earth and decay fills the air.
Okay, I want to head north toward the light, which seems like it's going to be an exit.
You continue moving north, the faint light gradually growing brighter as you approach the source. After a few moments, you come to the edge of a larger chamber. The light, a flickering torch, illuminates a small section of the room, but the shadows beyond are impenetrable. What do you do now that you've arrived in this chamber?
First, I want to grab the torch and I want to look around more thoroughly inside the chamber.
Got it! You take hold of the torch, its warmth and flickering light illuminating the immediate area. As you use the torch to look around, you can see that you are in a medium-sized chamber. Stone walls rise from a dirt floor, and there are several large wooden crates scattered around the room, adding to the cramped feeling. The light from the torch dances upon the crates, casting long, strange shadows on the walls, although the light doesn't reach quite far enough to fully dispel the darkness at the edges of the room.
Whoa, that was a lot. I have to read that, so hold on. You take hold of the torch, illuminating the immediate, as I said before in my how, or did I put now? I think I start off why, when I made a video, I titled it, Why Does My Role-Playing Style Differ from something like Daggerfall to Skyrim? You can go ahead and watch that again. But this is what I'm talking about. She's talking to me and I don't have any subtitles, I don't have any words. I have to go back into the chat and reread everything. So unless I have the words to read, sometimes they kind of lose me a bit, especially if they're talking longer. As I said before, it's kind of a me problem. This is why I really enjoy games like Daggerfall and Morrowind in terms of a level of understanding. Now, of course, that doesn't mean I don't understand things like Oblivion or Skyrim or things where it's voice over a lot, but I just feel as if I prefer it a bit more if there's something to read, hence why I turn on subtitles. So that's why. So anyways, as you use the torch to look around, you can see that you're in a medium-sized chamber. Stone walls, that's what it was. Stone walls rise from a dirt floor. Okay, so there are walls. There are several large wooden crates scattered throughout the room, adding to the cramped feeling. The light from the torch dances upon the crates, casting long, strange shadows of the walls, on the walls. Although the light doesn't reach quite far enough to fully dispel the darkness at the edges of the room. Okay. Okay, I would like to open these crates and see what's inside.
Understood. You move over to one of the large wooden crates and begin prying open the lid to see what treasures, if any, lie inside. Inside the crate, you find various supplies like candles, oil lamps, a flint and steel, and a few scraps of cloth. The other crates you open seem to have similar contents, odds and ends needed to keep a fortification running. As you rummage through the crates, you hear a faint scuffling noise somewhere deeper in the chamber.
Okay, well first, I want to take some of those supplies and place them in my inventory. I'm sure I have like a bag or something, a backpack. I want to keep them in my pack. I forgot to mention I have that. And keep them in my pack and go towards where I hear this sound.
Got it. You take the supplies from the crate and place them in your pack, ensuring they are secure for future use.
Okay.
With your supplies properly stored, you head deeper into the chamber, following the faint scuffling sound that you heard before. The shadows around you seem to grow longer and darker, the light from your torch doing little to push back the gloom. After a few moments, you reach a corner in the chamber, and as you peek around it, you see movement in the dim light.
Okay, I want to try to... Okay, you know what? I have a torch in my hand, but I also want to still cast my light spell. It's a ball of light, and I want to command that ball of light to go toward the direction of the scuffling sound so I can hear, or rather I could see exactly what it is.
Understood. You plan to continue holding the torch and simultaneously cast your light spell to create a ball of light to investigate the source of the scuffling sound. You focus your magical energy, and a ball of soft, warm light appears in mid-air near you. With a thought, you guide the light ball forward, directing it towards the direction of the noise you heard. The light ball floats through the air, its glow illuminating the area ahead of you and the shadows around.
Okay, I will start heading toward the scuffling sound.
Got it. With the light from your torch and the light ball leading the way, you start moving towards the source of the scuffling sounds. As you step deeper into the chamber, the light from the ball bounces off the walls and crates, revealing more of the room. The sounds of your footsteps and the light ball's movement echo slightly, but the scuffling is still just out of view.
Okay, I keep heading toward it.
Understood. You keep moving in the direction of the scuffling sound, your torch lighting your path and the light ball floating ahead. As you carefully make your way forward, the sound of the scuffling gets louder and more distinct. Whatever is making the noise is somewhere nearby, but it's still hidden in the shadows just out of sight.
Okay, I want to command I want to command my ball of light to go much further ahead toward the scuffling sound while I'm following, about like 10, 15 feet behind it. But I want the ball to be much more ahead, heading toward the scuffling sound.
Got it. You direct your focus towards the light ball, commanding it to move further ahead. With
Yeah.
a thought, the light ball drifts away from you, floating out in front about 20 feet. Its glow illuminates a wider area ahead, allowing you to see more of the room, but still not quite revealing the source of the
What?
scuffling sound, which is even louder now.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, what do I see in this room?
With the light ball further ahead, you can now see more of the room. The crates you saw earlier are piled up against the walls, and the stone floor is covered in a thin layer of dust. A few cobwebs hang from the walls and ceiling, and you hear the faint sound of water dripping somewhere off in the distance. However, the light ball is too far out for you to clearly discern what's causing the scuffling noise, which seems to be coming from somewhere near the opposite side of the room.
Does the scuffling sound seem like it's stationary, or does it sound like it's moving toward me, moving away from me, or what?
It's difficult to tell exactly, but the scuffling sounds more like it's moving away from you rather than approaching or staying stationary. It almost sounds as if something or someone is trying to move quietly and stealthily while evading detection.
Okay. Fine. I want to open up these crates in this room and see what I find.
Got it. You start opening up some of the crates in the room, hoping to find something useful or interesting. Inside the crates, you uncover a variety of items, ranging from mundane supplies like candles and oil lamps, a few scraps of cloth, to more interesting finds, a handful of gold coins, a small key, and a tattered cloth map.
Oh.
As you continue searching, the scuffling sound continues, growing more distant as whatever is making it seems to be moving further away.
First of all, I take all those items as they appear useful, and I want to look at the map.
Understood. You gather up all the items you found, including the gold coins, the key, and the tattered map. You then take a closer look at the map. The map is slightly tattered and weathered, but it appears to be a crude hand drawing of some sort of tunnel system. Several pathways are depicted, with some areas marked with symbols or scribbles that are difficult to make out in the dim light.
Okay, well, I think at this point I'm just going to move at a much more quicker pace, a more, brisk pace toward the direction of where the scuffling sound is heading, with the ball of light in front.
Got it. Given the urgency and potential risk, you decide to move quickly towards the scuffling sound, following the light ball which now leads the way ahead. You press on at a brisk pace, the sound of your footsteps and the light ball's movement echoing lightly in the chamber. The light from the ball bounces off the stones, revealing just enough to avoid tripping over any potential hazards along the way as you head towards the sound source.
Okay, I keep heading toward the sound source even faster to try to catch up to it, and I want to see what it is.
Understood. You continue heading towards the scuffing sound at a faster pace, determined to catch up to whatever or whoever is creating it.
Sure.
The tunnel seems to stretch on in front of your path as you race forward, your heartbeat quickening as the sound of the scuffling grows louder, confirming that you're getting closer. Finally, after a few moments of increased pace, you see a flash of movement up ahead, the light ball revealing the shadow of a creature or figure darting just out of sight.
Is this creature humanoid, or does it look like an animal?
The movement is quick and the light from the ball fleeting, but you just barely make out the form of the creature as it darts out of sight. From what you can tell, it appears to be roughly humanoid in shape, perhaps around your height. However, you're not sure if it's a human, a monster, or something else entirely, as your focus is largely concentrated on the pursuit and keeping up with the creature.
Sure, right. I cast a shield spell on myself.
With the creature's form still obscure, you maintain the quick pace, keeping the light ball afloat ahead of you. The echoing sound of your feet slapping against the stone and your breathing growing more ragged as the pursuit continues. Whatever it is, it seems to be able to move quickly and silently, eluding you thus far.
Well, now I'm running at it very quickly, and I cast a shield spell on myself. I have a torch in hand, as well as the light ball spell, about, you said, 10 or so feet ahead of me. So I have two light sources, and I am running very fast at this creature.
Got it! With the shield spell now protecting you, you run forward as fast as you can, the torch in one hand and the light ball bobbing ahead as you chase after the creature. The light from both sources dances along the tunnel as you sprint towards the creature, its shape still somewhat obscured in the darkness. The sound of your footsteps, labored ring, and the flickering flames create an intense atmosphere as you hasten towards the unknown.
Okay, I'm still running toward this creature. I'm hoping it's going to lead to a way out. As I'm running, no, you know what? And as I'm running, I'm also asking the creature. I say, "Stop! Who goes there? Who are you? Or what are you?" I say.
You run at full speed, the light of your torch and spell ball illuminating your path, and the
Okay.
shadowy figure up ahead.
Okay.
As you continue the pursuit, you call out, your voice echoing in the tunnel, "Stop! Who goes there? Who are you? What are you?"
Okay.
The creature doesn't respond, but slows down a little, possibly surprised by your call. It might have thought it was in the clear, but your determined pursuit and your lit light sources have taken it by surprise.
Okay. I haven't stopped running. I'm still. It stopped, you said, but I am not stopped. I'm still running toward it.
Got it. You continue running forward, keeping up the chase despite the creature seemingly stopping. The light from the torch and your spell ball bounce along the tunnel, the distance between you and the figure slowly decreasing.
Okay, so what is it?
As you draw closer, you can now make out the creature's form more clearly. Despite the dim light, you see that the creature is indeed humanoid, although it appears quite thin and wiry. It has a pair of spindly arms and legs and stands a bit taller than you, but the darkness still obscures its facial features.
Okay, well, using my arcane knowledge and my lore, I want to discern what exactly this creature is.
Got it. With your arcane knowledge and lore, you focus your mind, attempting to identify the nature of the creature you're pursuing. As you concentrate, you feel a sense of awareness and knowledge coming to you. From your studies, you recognize the creature as a wood elf, a race of slender, agile creatures known for their light-hearted attitude and skill with a bow. This
great.
particular wood elf seems to be quite young, its thin frame indicating a lack of maturity or perhaps a difficult life thus far.
I say, Megovanen, I mean you no harm. Come, let us travel together and find a way out.
The wood elf darts further down the tunnel, wary of your approach, but you manage to call out loudly, "I mean you no harm. Come, let us travel together and find a way out." The sound of your voice, coupled with your relentless pursuit, seems to give the wood elf pause. It hesitates slightly, turning to look back at you.
Okay, great. Um, I am Falagar. Who might you be?
The wood elf studies you warily for another moment before responding. Their voice is high-pitched, and though it seems young, their words are tinged with a hint of caution. My name is Galatil, they say, their eyes still glancing around the tunnel, assessing the situation. You're a human, aren't you?
What was the name? My name is Galathil. Okay, they say, what are you talking about? Their eyes still glancing around. Their eyes, what are you talking about? It's just one. Still glancing around the tunnel, assessing the situation. You're a human. I'm a Breton. Okay, you know what? I'm not a human. I'm a Breton. You're just one, right? You're just one wood elf? Or what's going on? Why did you say they and their? It's he.
Galatil looks at you a little closer, their eyes flickering over your features. Upon hearing your clarification that you're not human but a Breton instead, they tilt their heads slightly. Yes, I'm just one wood elf, they reply, their voice becoming a bit friendlier. What brings you down here, Breton? These tunnels are not a place for the unwary. Apologies for the confusion. Galatil corrects themselves. My apologies, you are a Breton, I see now. I'm sorry for assuming. Just one wood elf, yes, he confirms. And it's he, not
shit.
they. Thank you for the correction.
Jesus. Okay. Great. I don't know. I have no memory of how I ended up here. I'm just, I was in the middle of this place and I just would like to get out of here. What are you doing here, Galathil?
Galatil gazes at you, understanding evident in his eyes. Much like yourself, I find myself in this place with no memory of how I arrived, he says, his voice still cautious. I too wish to leave. I've been wandering these tunnels for days, hoping to find a way out.
Okay, DM, didn't you say going toward this direction I smelled more of like an earthy, kind of a nature smell, like it's leading outside?
Galatil nods in agreement. Yes, that's correct, he replies. There is a faint earthy scent coming from this direction. It's quite weak, but I do sense a hint of the outdoors that way. Perhaps we are nearing an exit.
Well, let us make haste, my new friend. What say you? We start traveling toward this earthy outdoor kind of smell. I am a mage, so we have two light sources. I have this torch, and I have that ball of light in front of us, which is traveling now around 15-20 feet ahead of us, so we have plenty of illumination. What say you?
Galatil nods with a small smile, a flicker of hope in his eyes. Yes, let's make haste, he responds. With your magical light sources and my eyes, we should be well equipped to navigate the path. He points toward the path ahead, where you can indeed detect a faint scent of the outdoors. Lead the way, my friend.
Okay, we're going. Yep.
With a sense of purpose, you and Galatil start traversing the tunnel, heading in the direction where you detect the earthy outdoor scent. The warm glow of your torch and the floating light ball provide ample illumination, banishing the shadows and helping to reveal the path ahead.
Okay, and we keep going. Are we getting closer to leaving this place?
As you both move together, you concentrate on the faint earthy scent, which does seem to be getting slowly stronger. Yes, Galatil affirms, inhaling deeply. The scent is subtly more pronounced now. We're definitely moving closer to the outdoors.
Okay, we keep heading that direction until we make it outside.
With determination, you and Galatil continue onward, each step bringing you a little bit closer to your goal. The scent of the outdoors becomes more evident with each passing moment. We're close, Galatil says, his voice hopeful. We should be nearing an exit any moment now.
Okay, go on.
As you continue, the scent of the outdoors grows more noticeable until finally, you notice a faint hint of fresh air mixed with the earthy scent. The tunnel seems to be gradually rising, and you begin to hear the faint sound of wind and the murmur of outside noises. Galatil lets out a relieved sigh. We're almost there, he says, a smile on his face. Listen, we're almost out of this place.
Okay, so let's get out.
With excitement building, you and Galatil quicken your pace, the scent of the outdoors growing stronger and fresher. Finally, you reach the end of the tunnel, an opening coming into view. The dim light of the sky is visible just beyond, signaling the exit you've both been seeking.
Okay, is it daylight?
As you peer out through the tunnel's opening, you see that it's indeed daylight, although it's quite late in the afternoon. The sky is a deepening orange-red, suggesting that the sun is setting.
Oh, it is. Okay. So I look around and seeing that this game is Daggerfall, by the way, we must be somewhere in the Illic Bay area.
Indeed, as you exit the tunnel, you look around and take in the scenery. You're in a hilly, verdant region with rolling green hills and patches of trees. The air is fresh and cool, a relief after your time spent underground. As you take in the surroundings, you recognize the landscape as part of the Illic Bay area.
Yeah. Okay, so, I would actually like to travel to Daggerfall, so I would like to ask Galatil. Galatil, yeah, we are in the Illic Bay region. What say you we travel to Daggerfall?
Galatil nods, looking around. I believe you're correct. We're in the Illic Bay region, he agrees. Traveling to Daggerfall makes sense, as it's one of the major cities nearby. It's likely we could find shelter and information there.
Alright, let's fast travel there.
Alright, with the decision made to head to Daggerfall, you and Galatil mentally prepare for the fast travel spell. You both focus your energy and willing yourselves to be instantly transported to the city. In a flash of arcane energy, you both disappear from the hillside, the landscape suddenly shifting and blurring. When the world comes back into focus, you find yourself standing in a familiar part of Daggerfall.
Very interesting. When I said fast travel, I didn't necessarily mean to fast travel as in teleport. I just meant, just let's travel there, but it's okay. So you see what I mean there? It's not perfect. It misunderstood. But, when the world comes back into focus, you find yourself standing in a familiar part of Daggerfall. So we made it to Daggerfall. I think this is a perfect place to end it. It's still quite cool. I just wish that it sometimes didn't take everything so literally like what I'm saying. But that's okay. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed again, September 23, 2024. In the future, I'm gonna, probably do some more of this. And I think it's just very relaxing. It's mostly storytelling, but you kind of have some control with the narrative, which I like. So, okay, so that's it. Okay, DM, I would like you to save my progress. Save my progress.
Saving your progress in the game. The game is now saved. You can reload this save point at any time.
No, I am done. I'm done for now.
Understood. You indicate that you are done playing the game for now. The game is saved at this point. You can come back and load this save at any time.
Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching, or rather listening, and see you.